Hello everyone, this is Suzette Dawes for Cloudy Sky today. And today, a topic of interest. Well, at least to me, art forgery. I've always wondered, you have oil painting replicas versus forgeries. So I looked up, oil painting replicas because one of the ways you learn to draw or, to master something is to imitate the masters. Now, I did a search and I found an Estes shop that has wall art for less where somebody did a Van Gogh replica oil painting. And you can see the prices are less than $200. Forgeries, on the other hand, pass off as the masters and they tend to run up into the millions of dollars. For example, this one I'm not too familiar about Modigliani facsimile, is a chest-up portrait of a woman, but it went for $2.9 million. And then they found out it was a forgery. And this I got from ArtNet News, which got me interested when I saw this article. Well, what other works are there that are frequently imitated, or what other forgers are there? And I thought that was interesting that just this year they had this many this many forgers. I happened to look at who they said History Channel, historycollection.com greatest forgers for the 20th century, because there have been forgeries before then, but I didn't want to go that far back. And if you take a look, they have a couple people in here. I think the first one was actually the most interesting one, because I was looking at this and going, this guy imitated Van Meegeren, but it managed to save him because he did the style of an old Dutch master and people were very much impressed with it. This other article is a couple who work together to defraud people. And they were ordered to pay 35 million euros. So they did a Vermeer painting. So that famous Vermeer painting is not actually research find. I don't know if they did it, but there have been so many fakes. I'm just looking at the CNN article with all they fooled the art market. I know flattery imitation is supposed to be like one of the most sincerest form of flattery, but it's just amazing how much work has been forged. This one I found interesting because Munch, if you're familiar with the Scream, I think I have it here also, the little excerpt. He imitated the Scream, which is amazing that I think it's already in a museum somewhere. So how is it that I did not recognize that it's a forgery? And they said there were several iterations, so I guess he was like, oh, these are the other ones that didn't make it. I don't know, it just seems amazing, forgery. And here I gotta look a bit more in the article. So this person was actually an artist, and how they get away with it, it's really interesting. I will link all these articles. You can take a look on it yourself. But the way he tried to say that this art collector gifted him these things, so that people think, oh well, it will belong to this art collector, and now I'm helping him with this thing, and I have these other ones. Very interesting, the art forger world. So I wanted to look up some motivation. So why? Because after finding that page where people are like, hey, I'm doing it in the style, but they're telling you it's a replica, people will pay up to $200 for that, but that's it. But the forgery, when they think it's the original Picasso, it's I forgot who that was, like this person Elmer Deori, he sold a little pen and ink drawing to a woman who mistook the work for Picasso, and then other people wanted it and they thought they were never before seen Picasso because he did that style. Henri Matisse. Again, I'm not too familiar with Modigliani or whatever. Sorry, somebody else might be familiar with him. Not one of those I'm familiar with. But I mean, sometimes it's an opportunity. I mean, look on this guy, Tony Tetra. He was doing furniture and had to drive long thing, and then once he got the art dealers or the one who roped in him, and he was making good money, he did it. Not necessarily good, but yeah. And this guy, the Beltrashes that we look up, they made a game of it. They enjoyed, doing, learning the new styles of these European artists and fooling these art experts. And they made millions of dollars. Of course, they were made, as you saw in the article, to pay it back. So they use forgery, as they said, as a way of combining, doing their research and fooling the people. And, pretty much it's greed. Because, I mean, look how much. He received $1,600 from the art dealer who roped him in. And then was contacted by other art dealers to make fakes. The art dealers could have said, hey, let's make replicas and call them replicas. You sign your name that you're great. But no, they want. So I don't just blame him. I also blame the art dealers who wanted to make it look like they had all these famous artists, work from all these famous artists. So what can I say? But I did find this. I'm probably going to look at it some more. If you like content like this, let me know. I'll do some more research because this is interesting. I mean, we could go more in depth with all the different art forgers to see what their style is and, hey, get a deep dive into it. But I just thought I'd introduce this topic as part of the art topic because I do like a little art now and then. And I also do paint. I haven't come to the going all above to where I'm imitating the masters. But one of the things when I was, doing a class online and I forgot who we were, looking at their style, I could see how, art forgery is a big thing if you can get it close to that. Also, there's a thing where, you can check the paint. This is something I know is that the old-fashioned paint and the modern paint are a little bit different. And that's how some of them got caught because of how they mix the pigment. But if you understand the whole chemistry of it too, not that I'm encouraging anybody to be an art forger, but surprisingly, how much big money is in this thing versus doing a replica and say, yeah, I did a replica of the master. So you tell me what you think, and maybe we can look at more content like this. Alrighty, bye.